Hey, welcome back to Rustaholic. I'm Patrick, and we're still working on this 1969 Pontiac Catalina wagon. And also, winter is here in Florida. At least, you know, it's doing it best it can. But I do have to wear a jacket because it's like cold, and I even have socks on. So that's how I know winter's here for sure. But anyway, we're still working on this car, and we've been working on it so long it's already starting to like flash rust again. So that's bad. We got to get this thing sealed up. And we're close. We're close. We've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 more little, like, really pretty minor things to do before we can do that. And we're going to kick off with the last part that we stopped. And again, sorry I lost that footage. Rookie, amateur, you know, what are you going to do? But we're going to start here. We're going to knock this back and see what we're still working with. Hopefully we only need maybe another coat here. We still got to do the vents and the hood, and there's some little things over there that we got to do. So, guess it's time to stop talking about it and start being about it. So let's get on it. Let's do this. All right, this stuff's pretty hard to get through, and I've got some pretty big bumps here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to finesse this a little bit with the orbital, just to save myself some time, and then we'll get it in with the block sanding. That or not, but at least it's down enough now I can show you where that gap is. So it's right, really it's from this point, it's here. Really kind of all the way over. So this whole section here is still low. So I'm gonna put a little bit more mud right here and see if I can't get this very top edge at least where I want it to be, so that it's straight across, and then I can start layering my mud from that edge and swoop it down into here. And then of course we'll go back all over it this way until it's smooth. Geez. So we got a couple areas of mud drying currently on the car, but we're not going to wait for that. While that's happening, I'm going to start working on these grates. I'm going to hit it with this wire wheel first, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do. I can see there's little bits of paint and all kinds of little stuff inside the grooves there. If I can't get it with this, we're going to have to go into it manually with some sandpaper, which isn't fun. And now I'm noticing this is, we'll have to be careful, you know, because of my back and all. But we're going to give this a try and see how it goes. All right, let's do it. just thought I'd give you a quick look at what I was actually doing. So this is the finish, and this is what I'm working on here. I don't know if you can see it, but inside here there's little remnants of paint and primer and who knows what that didn't get caught with the stripper or whatever we used. And if you paint over that, it's just going to flake and fall off and crack, and it's horrible. So that's the difference. That's what we're actually trying to get cleaned out here, is all of this loose stuff, so it looks more like that, so the paint will actually adhere down the road. So almost done here. I'm gonna finish this up. We'll check the mud and see if it's ready, and if it's not, we'll move on to something else, because we got more things to do. All right, back in a bit. Okay, we got the front of the hood there taken care of, which is good, and we've got an interesting one here to take a look at. But I just wanted to share with you, I took a couple back breaks while I was working on that hood, and I was, you know, when you're in the zone and you're sanding or you're, you know, doing some stuff like that, you get into some deep thought, you know. And I was thinking about how annoyed I have been in the last few days because of my back and etc., and just how like grumpy I've been overall. And I came to a conclusion, is this is how people get led to being a curmudgeon, you know, grumpy old man. And I was like, that's it. Probably these, you know, you run into this guy who's older and, you know, just kind of a little sharp and on edge and just overall grumpy. It's probably a mobility issue. He probably was a badass, and now he's just pissed that he can't do this stuff anymore. Because I could totally see me going down that road, because I'm already grumpy about stuff already. Probably wouldn't take much. But anyway, just wanted to share that thought. So if you see one of these guys, maybe, I don't know, a little bit of sympathy or something. I don't know. Because why is that so hard? Why can't I lean over a hood for 20 minutes? Stupid. Anyway, we're going to work on this. I'm going to bring you in a little closer, because I don't know if I can explain this right, but there's some stuff in the rail that I put in there years ago, you know, and it's doing a pretty good job. I don't feel like I need to dig it all out. But there are some areas that are like separated from the body, and so I don't want to spray over that. I don't want water to get in there, so that has to get remediated. I don't really care about the other stuff that has really good adhesion, but there's a couple little sections in here that's kind of separated, and that's what we got to fix. So I'll show you that real quick. All right, this is what we're looking at. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but see how I can get a razor knife in here, in between here. That's not good. So I don't want anything to get down underneath between there. So that's what you got to fix. See right here, this is fine. There's no gap here. This is not a problem. But that's a problem we got to fix. So it's going to be hard for you guys to see this while I'm working on it, but my plan is I'm just going to try to cut that out and even that up again, so we can just, you know, spray stuff over the top of it probably. But we got to get this out of the way so that everything will sit flush. So that's what I'm going to be working on for a bit. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm set up, and I'll just give you an idea. So there's right there. I dug it all out, vacuum cleaned it. So we're just gonna try to put a little bit of filler into that. So we added a couple more spots. I got this long section here, a couple short sections in here, and I got this here because I know I'm gonna be using, I think I'm gonna use that lightweight filler. And since I'm gonna have to like get it in there like that, I don't wanna be smearing it all up into here. So got my quick tab release, so after I pull the mud, I can pull the tape, and then hopefully I only have to worry about the stuff I actually want to sand down in that groove. So I think that'll do it for what we need to do here. I do have one more little spot here I need to put a little dab in, but I think that will complete this section. So let's get some mud going, put some filler in it, and be able to move on to the next thing. Alright, we've got everything mudded at this point, so now we're going to try to see what we can get knocked back here. Sand everything down, see where we stand. Again, at least on this one, I'm going to start off with the orbital, just to cheat a little bit, and then once I know I have it built up enough, then we'll go back in and do it with some hand sanding. Well, that's not even plugged in. That's not going to work. Just a bit. Alright, we got that worked out. And also, newsflash, winter's over in Florida. I know. It lasted a few hours, but now we're back up into the 70s. We're good, and I think it's going to hold. We'll see. Right now, let's go ahead and sand this thing down. Alright, after some sanding, you can see here, we are kind of lined up right there, which is good. Kind of cuts in a little bit this way, so that's fine. So I'm really going from like right about here to here, and you can see like we're looking pretty good. There's still a little bit of gap, not too surprisingly around this area here, because I'm trying to keep these holes clear. It's hard to put mud there when you got a hole there that you're trying to protect. But that's where we got to get it. We got to get some mud here in this little zone. And then I think we'll be good for here. This can still come out quite a bit. We'll be all right digging this back out. And we still got to straighten this out. But once we straighten this out, we're just working on some edging here, I think. Maybe a little bit more here. We'll see. But right now, we are really close. So let me see about getting a little bit more mud in here, and then I think we'll be ready to start finishing some stuff. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. A lot better. Quick update, got everything sanded down. So this is working a lot better. You can see in there, it's nice and smooth now. Along there, there's another spot. Here's the long one that we worked on. Just a little 100 grit for right now. But otherwise, I think we are good here. A couple more little pieces here. Nice and smooth. And I think that's it. Just one more here, I guess. Yep, so that's it. Everything else has been sanded down as well. So I think at this point, more filler. All right, let's make it happen. Here we go. we're getting really close here. I think what I'll do is I'm going to put some of the lightweight filler in here over this edge just a little bit, kind of smooth this out. But I think we're pretty close. And then we'll just do our final, round this edge a little bit, and we'll go from there. But yeah, you're still going to be able to see, because this is going to get a lot wider right here. But I don't know. I think it won't be as noticeable. The mirror will still be here, is what I'm thinking, and it'll hide a lot of this, but it's definitely better than it was. All right, moving on. All right, here's another section that I've kind of been working on the side. What happened was, as I was sanding this down, I broke through to some fiberglass that apparently is in this section. So put some tape on the bottom first, and I did some filler on the top, and you can see how I kind of smooth that in here. So that's nice and covered. And then I reverse it, put the tape on the top, put some filler down here, and now I'm going to try to feather this in as well. I'm going to go real light because I don't want to hit that fiberglass that's right there. As soon as I see it, that's it. I'm going to stop and just try to feather everything else in. But doing the tape this way really helps me keep that body line nice and sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this out, and I think this section is pretty close. There's a section right here which is pretty wavy down here, especially around this area. So I think I'm going to take this off and just straighten this out. There's no reason for it to be that wavy. The bottom of this is actually solid. The rot or whatever was like in this area. So we'll go ahead and try to get that straightened out as well. Oh yeah. I think we can get a new one of these. I think that's in the budget. Not getting crazy with it, just a little bit better. I'm gonna round this out a little bit, I think, and then yeah, we're gonna call it. Uh-oh, I might have a spot here. Maybe one more patch here. Yep, one more there. So I was about to put some filler. Got two more locations over there by the door and underneath here for some lightweight filler. But before I do that, and get it all fumy up in here and have to wear a gas mask the rest of the day, I thought I would attack this as well, you know, maximizing. So this right here, there's some gaps here, and I'll bring it in and show you a little bit closer. There's some gaps, and apparently I put a little bit of filler at some point in between this trim and the glass. Probably because there's something on the other side that's not pretty and we don't want to look at. Probably some kind of water deterrent. But we don't have it in the budget to tear all this stuff out and see what's under there. We just don't. We're stuck with this. So we're just going to go with the same fix that we had last time. And I went through, and I think I remember what this is. I think it's Pour 15 epoxy putty. It's a two-part epoxy. You pull it apart, mix it all together, and then it forms it's basically hard as a rock. And just something to note, when we did citrus strip on this whole car, for the most part, besides these two areas, which may have been damaged previously anyway, it had no effect. Citrus strip had no effect on this epoxy putty. Just saying. So that took a little bit of an effort. This stuff has been in my cabinet there for years. It was pretty tough, but put it in the sun for a few minutes and just kept working it until it was pliable. Seemed to bring it around. Let me show you just how I kind of do this. I pull it out, I cut it, I make sure it's pliable, I get it into same equal lengths if possible. I don't think I'm actually going to need this much, so I'm actually going to split this in half. We'll see. We'll do it twice if we need to. Split that in half. It's supposed to be about 1 to 1. And then just start mixing it together. I kind of twist it up together like that. And just start twisting, rolling, folding, and more twisting until you're good with it. And you don't really have to worry. You've got lots of working time with this stuff. It's more important to get this to a consistent color so it's all blended together. And then by the time it dries, it's hard as a rock. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna keep doing this for a few minutes and then meet you back at the car. This stuff will get sticky in your hand. If you need to, you can put some water in it. Water's fine. Water's your friend with this stuff. It'll help you smooth it out too. Actually, you'll see that in a second. But yeah, I don't think I need that much. Just gonna keep. We just need a little bit at a time here. That's all we need. I got a little cup of water on the roof here. I'm using to help make this smaller because we want to do as little sanding as possible since it's next to the glass. That's no good. That's no fun anyway. And I'll show you here using the water. You can kind of really smooth this stuff out pretty good. You gotta be careful because don't worry about it. It's gonna still harden out. But you can really manipulate it quite a bit. Okay, that's it for now. We'll let that harden up, totally set, and then we'll come back and get it lined up with everything else and knock it back a little bit. But this is gonna be better than it was. That's it. That's it. Starting out with some 100 grit. Seems to be working, but it's a slow process. Getting there. Using a paint spreader or filler spreader. Try to even it out. Alright, this isn't so bad. This is where it starts. Hard to tell actually. So along here. And then we skip a little bit and then it starts right about here again. But right here, there's some little holes there. Didn't get enough stuff in there, so I put a little bit of lightweight filler in there just to cover that gap, but I think that's going to be pretty good. Nice. That's it. I think we're done. Calling it. We did it. That's it. And my back feels all right. So pretty excited about that. That means we are just going to move forward. And we accomplished a lot of stuff today, actually. I think we knocked out all the major things I had on the list as far as last minute sanding, things like that. There's still going to be more. And there's going to be stuff that we totally miss, and there's going to be stuff that I completely ignore also. So, but we get to move on, I think. So, very excited about that. Hopefully, catch me on the next one. Hope you guys are really enjoying. Please like, comment, subscribe, because I think we're getting really close to sealer. And once we can get this thing in some primer, then I think we're going to be able to start actually moving pretty quickly. So. Hope to see you on the next one. Thank you all again for your support, and we'll catch you next time.